everybody, Kate Aurora here. Welcome to my channel and my review of Show Day from NPC Universe. It has been a whirlwind of a weekend, and I basically just kind of want to go over what happened and what transpired, because the last vlog that I left off on was Wednesday. I was driving down to Charleston to stay at my parents' house. So I did not get a whole lot of footage during the day before the show or show day, just because I was really trying to get in the zone. And as much as I love doing YouTube, I had to pick, was I gonna focus more on making content, or was I gonna focus more on really trying to bring my best and potentially win my pro card? So obviously I chose the latter, but I do want to do a video just to kind of talk about what transpired and just everything, just give you kind of an idea of what it was like. And I'll kind of insert a couple photos and maybe some videos here and there, and maybe talk you through it, but just kind of wanted to at least give you kind of a heads up of how everything went. So on Wednesday evening, which was 2 days out from NPC Universe, I arrived at my parents' house. My parents live about 30 minutes. Hey, down. Camera off. My parents live about 30 minutes from downtown, so I went ahead and drove down Wednesday night, and then I basically worked a half day on Thursday, which was the day before the competition. So the day before the competition, which was Thursday, I woke up, did a check-in with Casey, basically sent her my physique, and she was really excited about how I was looking and gave me my macros. And then from there, I logged on to work. I had some calls, got some stuff done. And then once I was done, I made my way to the Team Boss Buddies hotel. So once I got there, we actually kind of caravanned and went as a team and met at check-ins. Oh my gosh, it was a super long line. I mean, really, really long line for check-ins. And it was like a ride at Disney World, except, at the very end, the check-in process section is quicker than a Disney ride, but whatever. So we were in line for a long time, and then I was at the same time I was also looking at tickets for the show on Friday, so my husband Denny could come and watch. But oh my gosh, was it ever so expensive. It was ridiculously expensive. So basically I looked at the options, and one of my teammates was actually saying that she and her husband were both competing. Brandy, she and both of her husbands were competing, and it would have been like, $200 for them to watch each other compete. So what they were doing was they bought the live stream, and I was like, oh, well, if he did the live stream, then he could watch it at home with the kids. So we'll watch it at his parents' house, because he was staying at his parents' house. So what happened is I basically said, Denny, just get the live stream, get the $25 live stream, and then if all goes well, then you can come to the night show. So he was like, are you sure? I'll come if you want me to. And I was like, no, let's do that. You can be there with the kids, and it'll just be a little more leisurely. So so we went in. It took us about 30 minutes, a little over 30 minutes to get through the check-in line. And after that, we took a couple photos as a team, and then made our way back to the hotel. And I got my first coat of tan. So at this point, Casey Marshall, my coach, took a look at me, made some tweaks, a little bit of tweaks in my posing, just kind of how I was standing, and then just evaluated my food for the remainder of the night and what she wanted me to consume. So she said that she wanted to go ahead and give me another refeed. So basically just like a grilled chicken sandwich, 4 rice cakes with 2 tablespoons of almond butter, and a glass of wine. So Casey had to go out. She was actually going to go out for dinner with some of the other coaches, Janelle and Kiki, and I stayed back at the hotel with Lacey and Corinne, and we Uber Eats Chick-fil-A. And it was good. It was good. My Chick-fil-A sandwich. I got a grilled chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A, and we watched Too Hot to Handle because I'm stupid and I love stupid shows like that. So, and I've already seen the first season. So Lacey and Corinne hadn't seen the first season, so I had to watch the first season with them before I watched the second season. So anyway, it was just good, just relaxing, chillaxing, not even, just no stress, as little stress as possible. So I went to bed about 10 o'clock and then woke up at 3 a.m. The next morning, so show day. I couldn't sleep. I was excited, I was nervous, I was just trying to process everything, what was going to happen or transpire later in the day. And what I went ahead and did is when I feel kind of that anxiety or frustration or nervousness, what I do is I journal. And so I pulled out my journal and basically hyped myself up and basically said, I believe in you, Kate, you can do this, you can do this. Do whatever mantra I need and just help to get my head right for the day. At about 6 a.m., I got my next coat of tan, and Casey saw me then and gave me my protocol for the remainder of the day. One of the things that I discussed with her that is from my preference that I wanted, I don't like to eat a lot before stepping on stage. I don't want to be fasted, but I just didn't want to be like stuffed full of food. So I did ask that we don't go too heavy with food, and then I said no wine. As much as I love red wine, I think that I needed, especially with my posing and how we've had so many tweaks and changes, I needed to focus on that. And the problem is if I had wine, then I think I get a little too loose, a little too relaxed, and so I really just didn't want to do that. And Casey was fine with that. So after getting my last coat of tan, I just kind of relaxed, kind of took my time. I mean, literally 6 a.m. and I didn't have prejudging, wasn't starting until 10 a.m. I just kind of took my time getting ready, doing my makeup, doing my hair, taking a nap here and there, just really just kind of being low key at, before having to head to the venue. One of the things that I learned is that with this show universe, you never know what's going to happen. There are some shows, some promoters like Gary Udit, who will do text messages letting you know so-and-so's on stage, so-and-so better get ready. It's like, constant communication. Universe isn't that way. It's run very differently, which, to each their own. So I knew that prejudging started at 10 a.m. for wellness. I actually headed to the venue about 10:45. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get there early, just find a spot and chill. And that's exactly what I did. I found my teammates, Brandy and Kim. And so I went ahead and hung out with them, sat down, put my blanket down, and just kind of hung out with them. I put my yoga mat down, then I put my blanket on top of that, and I pulled out my headphones and I actually created a playlist that was just some songs that just kind of get me amped up, get me motivated. So I literally just kind of pulled out I had my headphones on, played my playlist, and just kind of got in my zone, I guess. I felt really amped up. I think once that kind of helped to get me feeling in the mood. So it was a long time. I mean, we were waiting backstage for a while. I'm texting with my husband. He's kind of keeping me in the loop, letting me know so-and-so's on stage. He's like, oh, you're not gonna go on stage till 2 o'clock. And he was pretty much right. Denny was pretty much on the dot correct about that. But yeah, I did step on stage around 1:30, 2 o'clock. But yeah, I for the stage, they start lining you up backstage. They start, class E, you're in class D, they start going through your numbers, class E. And I remember, first it looked like there's only 8 girls in my class. I was like, oh wow, this is a small class. And then I heard someone saying, actually there's 22 women in this class. There's a lot of crossovers. And I was like, holy how. So that meant that there were other women currently competing in Masters 40 and were going to come back and compete in Masters 35. And so it started to mess with me. I'm like, oh my gosh, we have a big class. And then I overheard people saying, yeah, this is the largest Masters 35 class. And then that's what I just literally, I started to freak out a little bit, but then I continuously and mindfully kept bringing my mind back to me. There were times that my eyes would wander and I would look at the other women in my class and be like, and start to kind of doubt myself, but I would just, I would just sat myself back into place and say, blinders on, Kate, blinders on. And I think, there was a moment actually where JM Mannion, who does all the photos for the NPC, kind of caught me in my moment, I guess, if you will, just before I stepped on stage, where I was saying this to myself: blinders on, execute, blinders on, execute. When I stepped on stage around 2 o'clock for the comparisons, I just told myself, all right, execute, let's go. And I felt really calm, actually. I stepped on stage and during the comparisons, and I felt pretty good. I felt very calm, very collected, very poised. And then my individual routine came, and again, I told myself, execute, but with more confidence. And so I took my time, just like my coach Laura had taught me to do, and just made sure I hit every pose smoothly and accurately. So after everybody did their individual routines, it was time for call outs. And at this point, you want, for those that don't know, first call outs you want to be in, because that means that you're placing, or you're the best shot at placing. Now they may have anywhere from 5 to 7 in a call out, and they only give awards to top 5, but we actually, you want to get in that first call outs, because that's what tells what place you're going to get. So I was the 3rd number called out of 22 amazing women, and I was ecstatic. I was really excited, and there really wasn't much shuffling around. I knew right after I stepped off stage that I had split center. So at that point, a little piece of me was kind of, I want to say I was happy, but I was disappointed, because the last time I split center was in North Americans in 2020, last year, and I got 2nd, and I really thought that I had won, but it happens. So I knew, I was a little disappointed, but at the same time I was like, at the same time, I know that I'm going to Masters Nationals in a few weeks, so if there were improvements or whatever, we had time to make it up. So I went ahead, I got my stuff together, went back into the audience, checked in with Casey. She was really excited. She wanted to keep me tight for finals, which was in a few hours at 5 o'clock. But I did need to eat. I was hungry. So she she gave me kind of 2 smallish meals to eat at the team hotel, and told me to just relax. So went back, did that, had those 2 meals within an hour of each other, because I was leaving the venue around 3 o'clock, and then a couple of hours till finals. So Denny actually came to the team hotel to meet up with me, help bring everything in. Since prejudging went well, he was going to buy a ticket to come to the night show, so yay. It was so good to see him. Oh my God, it was so good to see him. I hadn't seen him since Wednesday, and Denny's my rock. Like, he really is my biggest support system, my biggest fan, and I truly need him. We rely on one another for many things, and he's my rock. Unbeknownst to me, he was actually very nervous about my placement, but he kept a really good poker face. He did not really say anything about it. He just told me how proud he was of me, and then we went to the venue together. So got to the venue and chatted with some of the team, some of the coaches, Janelle and Kiki and Lacey and Corinne, and I went ahead and left Denny with them. I was like, sorry, I gotta go backstage. So I left him with the girls and went ahead backstage and got settled with my teammates, Brandy, Kim, Stephanie, Lana, and Jill. We were chatting about the show, family, food, just socializing backstage. At this point, you know, the judging is pretty much done. So finals is a little bit more relaxed. And then they start, you know, finals goes super quick at that point. So when it came to group my class together, my nerves were setting in. But I reminded myself, no matter what, it's going to be okay. No matter what, you know, everything's going to be okay. You know, even, you know, it happens. Things happen, good things, bad things, it's going to be okay. As we were lining up, they pulled the top 5 out from the remainder of the class. So I was pulled out of the class just before stepping on stage, which meant I was in the top 5. I was a bit confused with how things were progressing because they had they let everybody else go on stage and line up in one line, and then just kind of, they called their names off and they just kind of signed off and walked off stage. They just hit a front pose, did their name, walked out of stage. But they had the top 5 do their individual routine. And I was in the middle of my transition, and oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I don't know what I was doing. I was so like, oh gosh, I'm sorry. Like I'm really a geek. I don't know how else to explain it. But I was in the middle of a transition from back to front, and they called the next competitor, and I did some bonehead thing. I don't know. Yeah, just don't judge me. I was shaking, I'm nervous, and you know what, I'm human, whatever. So yeah, and I'll go ahead and cut out so you can watch the actual announcement of the placements.
Civil White. In fourth tonight, 278, Casey Burks. In third, 283, Kimberly Peoples. In second tonight, 223, Nakia Obi.
Yeah, Kate!
Great job, ladies. Thank you.
So my reaction says it all. I about fell over. I was so shocked. It's just a surreal moment to hear that, to hear your name, and to hear that you are a new IFBB Bikini Pro. It's just insane. I didn't even want to do the show. I had my reasons. I thought, you know what, I'm better off waiting until Masters Nationals, but Casey was very encouraging and really said, I just think you should do it. I think you should do it. And I listen and trust my coach full-heartedly. You know, it's very rare that I will speak up and tell her no on something. And I'm so glad I did it. I really am. I'm still in absolute shock about what transpired. And while I feel it has taken me forever to achieve this goal, I honestly think it happened at the absolute perfect time. I prayed to God almost daily, asking him to help me keep perspective, not to give up hope no matter what my placing. I asked him every day for humility and poise, because it is important to have humility. It is important to understand that there's a greater purpose in life. I want to continue to keep my head on straight and keep balance with him, my family, work, and also work on achieving my goals. But words cannot describe how I feel about this whole thing. It is amazing, and I feel honored and completely blessed. A huge thanks to Casey Marshall, CEO, Team Boss Bodies, CEO Boss Babe. She is amazing. This woman is just brilliant beyond her years. Thank you, Casey, so much for all your patience and your guidance. We've been together for 4 years, and I know many more to come. This is a new chapter, and I cannot wait to take this journey with you. Casey's been an absolute angel in my life and has always believed I would become pro, but it wasn't her that believing in me that was going to make me become pro. I had to believe in myself, and I did. But without her believing in me, wouldn't have convinced me that I could do it myself. Which wasn't until this year that I finally believed in myself, and that's what I needed to do. So, Casey, I don't know if you watch this, but I completely adore and love you, and you mean more to me than you know, I promise. Thank you, Kiki McClellan. She is the training coordinator, training director at Team Boss Bodies, and thank you so much for the kick-ass training programs. Your planes helped me to build that physique that helped me to bring home that pro card. Thank you to Laura Norton for perfecting my posing routine. I admit I was not good about practicing, and it showed. So y'all, practice your posing, even in off season, 10 to 15 minutes, a few days a week in off season. Then when you're in prep, 20 to 30 minutes a day, 20 to 30 minutes a day. And let me tell you, work on holding your front poses for extended periods of time. I'm telling you, like, work on holding those poses, because posing conditioning is a real thing. Thank you to my boss babe sister, Isabel DuPree, and her amazing family, who's just the best fan club that anyone could ask for. Brad, Izzy, Mary Grace, you guys are phenomenal. And Isabel, you've just always been there for me. You're there to help me laugh. You're there to reach my zen. You're there to let me complain about my cardio and macros, low carbs, whatever. I just love you, and I know you're going to be going pro. Like, we're going to get you there. I need you. We need to be together. We have to be. And the biggest thanks I have is to my amazing husband, Denny, and our 2 amazing, beautiful children, Zane and MJ. Y'all have supported me every step of the way. And there have been moments and times that I probably wasn't the most ideal to deal with, but you have managed and helped me to keep my perspective and kind of keep myself in check. And I appreciate that. I could not have done this without any of your support. And it means the absolute world to me. I'm so excited to have you guys by my side on this chapter. I love you so much more than words can say, and it really means a lot to have you in my corner. So there's so many more people that I honestly have had the utmost support, and to all of you, even though I may not have called you by name, please know that I appreciate you and give you thanks for your encouragement. It truly means more to me than you know. It's just hard for me to bring up everybody. There's so many. To those of you looking to achieve something, go for it. Go for it. Don't just wait. Go for it. Chase your goals and don't give up. Learn from every mistake, failure, and heartbreak. Soak it in, process it, and come back stronger. Really wasn't until I believed in myself that I finally obtained my goal of becoming an IFBB Bikini Pro. I assure you that if I can do it, anyone can. It's all about your mindset. All right, so what's next for me? Well, I am 18 days out from my pro debut in Pittsburgh. I was going to do Masters Nationals anyway, but now that I'm a pro, I am going to do the pro show that's Saturday, July 24th. And I'm really excited to get my feet wet on the pro stage. I have absolutely no expectations. And then after this show, we're gonna go into a very long off season. I've been prepping hardcore for the last 3 years, and my body and mind need a nice break. I honestly probably won't step on stage until 2023, but we'll see. I want to be ready, and I'm all about going the natural route. So if things look good, then maybe I will compete in 2022, but I honestly think that I just need a break. It's been, especially last year, I literally prepped from January until November. It was so long because of COVID and everything being moved around. I just was lucky this year to get it done. Did one regional show, one national show, get my pro card, and now I'm going to do a pro show, and then I'm going to go into off season. So with that, I hope that even though I'm not competing, you know, obviously I'm going to document my pro debut and make sure I keep you guys in the loop on that. But I do hope that even when I'm not in actual full-on competition mode, that you will still continue to follow my journey on YouTube, and follow my building process, because there is some bulking, or not bulking, but built muscle growth that I have to do before I step on stage. The reason I want to take that time off is when I step on the pro stage the next time after this pro debut, I want to be undeniable. And I've already shared some ideas with my coach, and she actually thinks that it's completely doable. So yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and I hope you continue to follow this new chapter in my journey. So with love, thanks guys.
Kate, we're so excited for you. I hope you have a good time on stage. Go, Kate, we're rooting for you. Yes!
So since MJ was asleep last night, she didn't get to have any of the cake.
It's a carrot.
Yes, it's got a little carrot on
It's
it.
a tiny carrot.
It's a tiny little carrot. Okay, so let me just get a little bit for you. Because it is breakfast, so I want you to
Breakfast.
get for breakfast. Only when mom wins her pro card do you get to do that. This one was my favorite. Look at that one.
Yeah. What did you eat with your friends?
Mm-hmm. Then we came back here and had dessert. Okay.
Okay.
Try it. Go ahead and try that like so you're gonna have it on the fork.
Yeah.
That one good? Yeah? I mean, the carrot cake's good too. I like that one better. A little icing. Try the cake. I got a little icing too. You have to get all ice. Get a little bit of that. There you go.
Okay.
So, which one? I mean, it's good too. Yeah, the red velvet. That's my favorite, right?